Do a Mueller walk and talk, little dusk, cool walk, second walk of the day for the dog, because I was gonna do a regular video on it, and I thought to myself, you know, how many times are you gonna go over this, Jason? You've talked about who Mueller really is, what this investigation has always been about, what it's going to continue to be about, and how there's gray area out there. So, what's going on? Well, Adam Schiff gleefully, by the way, told us, I believe it was yesterday, that Robert Mueller will be testifying in a month. Ooh. And so what was this 2-year investigation? Outweighed the 9/11 Commission by many, many times over. That should tell you something. That should upset people, okay? So, who's got bad service? Do I? Is it not good? I don't know, hopefully it looks all right. Anyhow, so on top of that, hey Luna, how you doing? How you doing, Joe? On top of the fact that the 9/11 Commission spent way less money, way less man hours, well, guess what? There was a perjury trap the whole time. That's all they wanted. They wanted, in the worst way, to get Trump to testify. In any way, shape, or form. If we can get him in a chair, we know he's a liar, we will get him to lie, and then we can have impeachment hearings. That didn't happen. They couldn't get him in a chair. So then they said, well, we've gone after his cronies. We can't prove any Russian collusion because it's imagination land. It was an actual black op by the quote-unquote intelligence community that told us, you know, it was Russian collusion. Russian collusion, you know? What did they do? Well, they couldn't get anybody on that. And George Papadopoulos, lo and behold, he wasn't colluding with Russians. He was being spied on and possibly working with Israel. How about that? Pretty odd. That's a little footnote in the report, by the way. Now, everything in the report should be taken with huge grains of salt, dodgeball size grains of salt, because in it, there's a subsection, before they get to the obstruction of justice, by the way, a subsection where they discuss Seth Rich. And when they discuss Seth Rich and Assange, they basically say, well, Assange promoted conspiracy theories and lies. He's a liar. And then they show no evidence. And they keep up with this GRU motif. Okay? And they spin it in the report. So then they find every little tool they can to say, well, he obstructed justice. He obstructed justice here. He obstructed justice there. He obstructed justice just about everywhere. It was like a Dr. Seuss book. 11 cases of obstruction of justice. So then the controversy was out. Well, he's obviously a criminal. Thanks, Flick Off. Finally caught you live again. YouTube doesn't want me to catch you live. Well, you did this time, my friend. So props to you, and thank you so much for the super chat. Everything helps. So again, you have this idea that he obstructed justice on a crime that never occurred. Completely ridiculous, but it was under interpretation. So what happens? Bar interprets it for you. And I told you from the very beginning, look, they put this in there as the next level. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate the super chats. I go, look, obstruction of justice, before the report even came out, I said obstruction of justice is the new Russian collusion. And lo and behold, it was. So then, when they actually roll Mueller out, he specifically says they could not charge him with a crime. Why? Because he was sitting president, and you can't do that. That's why. And I said to myself, oh man, look at this. So now he's saying this guy's a criminal. He would have charged him, basically. He went all the way with saying, to almost the point where if he wasn't the president of the United States, he'd be in jail. That's basically what you got from that 9-minute podium speech he gave. And I was going to put that together. I had it in a video. I was going to sit there and go through all the articles. But we know where the game's at right now. 100%. Trump is fired back. He says that the Republicans are going to have plenty to ask. Now, here's my problem. Why are we making this about left and right? What was this really? This was a deep state operation for sure. All right? Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, and their superiors, with the help of people like Brennan and Clapper, 100%, produced this whole narrative and quote-unquote investigation. That's what this is. And Trump has already hinted at the fact that Mueller got rid of a bunch of, thank you, Sandra, a bunch of the communications, aka text messages and emails, between Strzok and Page, who were having an affair. So yeah, no big deal. The special agent put in charge of the investigation, who's lying to his wife and having an affair with the other special agent in charge of the investigation, says, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're not going to let it happen, are we? Oh no, Trump's not going to become, and then he does, but they have their little insurance policy. And, again, I'm not into left-right politics. I don't like to play parties, but Trey Gowdy, out of the majority of everybody that was asking relevant questions, probably did the best job there. So, what are we going to see? What's going to happen now? Here's my prediction. First of all, the ramp up to this is going to be huge. I'm not sure what the exact date is, but I predict this. It'll be going on pre a large Iran crisis. It'll be going on just long enough so that when the dust settles one way or the other, and believe me, it'll just be more rhetoric about impeachment, and now we have to have more hearings, and this is it. We're going to impeach the president on obstruction of justice. It's clear Mueller wants to do so. And then on the other side, there'll be calls for the arrests of people, or at least investigations of people like Clapper and Brennan, because people in the know already know that these guys should be arrested. So all that'll be going on, and then as the dust settles on that, again, I predict late July, early August, they're going to try to pop that Iran situation right off. And I'm not exactly sure how, 100%, what kind of an operation it's going to be. But I'm telling you right now, they have wanted to be in there forever. It's not new. It's not new. And the idea that this isn't being questioned more is extremely alarming. I was watching Rogan and Abby Martin, and I think they just put the podcast out yesterday. Abby Martin, Empire Files, Media Roots, former RT correspondent, great journalist. I got to see her new movie about Gaza, Fight for Freedom. And they were talking about the situation that it was just so blatant this time that it seemed like a false flag. And even some people were like, wow, this is fishy. Rogan was pretty openly talking about it. And Rogan also talked about Trump kind of flying off the handle and saying things that most other presidents wouldn't have said, and I've covered this. AKA his discussion about the military-industrial complex in Syria with that Fox News correspondent. What was really odd is that Rogan was like, yeah, that Fox News correspondent is actually a longtime family friend, where my parents and his parents used to go on vacations together, so we've known each other since pretty much childhood. I was like, well, that's an odd connection, but whatever. But yeah, they're talking about it. And how does this all intertwine? Well, first of all, there is a fight for power between left and right. That's very real. That's why I'm going to be watching the debates tonight and hoping that Tulsi Gabbard gets a chance and she says the right things. She takes the right stances on the big issues and maybe brings to light some of the issues that nobody else is going to. I mean, that's why she's really there, right? That's why we want her there. So after that, I think we're going to do the Democratic debate AMA. So please feel free to come in and join the chat on exactly what's going down afterwards. I appreciate you guys all joining me for this one. Thumbs the video up, share it. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And I will see you guys on the flip side later on.